there. Let's go to East Rutherford, New Jersey, where Giants rookies will report today. And among them, the 6th overall pick. That's another wide receiver. That's Malik Neighbors. And Orlovsky, it's a lot to put on a rookie, but the question is this: can he save Daniel Jones' career?
Well, he's got to make him something he's never been. That's dynamic and explosive at that position. Greeny, we're talking about Daniel Jones as the quarterback spot. He's thrown for over 15 touchdowns once in his career. That was his rookie season in 2019. He's never thrown for more than 3,200 yards. So Malik Neighbors coming off of the college season when he averaged 17 yards per catch. It's not save his career, make Daniel Jones to be something he's never been in the NFL. Really good.
You know, D. Wood, I think about the addition of Malik Neighbors. I think about the departure of Saquon Barkley, and I personally can't get that out of my head. What do you expect from this Giants offense led by Daniel Jones?
Well, I mean, first it'd be nice if Daniel Jones stays on the field healthy. I think as much as we talk about Malik Neighbors and we know how dynamic he is, I think everything's going to be dependent on this offensive line that the Giants have right now, because they've invested heavily in this line over the years, and it just hasn't happened, hasn't done anything quite well. Those guys have to protect. They got to get it going up front, because that's going to be the key for Daniel Jones, is being able to be protected.
Yeah. They've invested a lot in the offensive line over the years. They brought in some sort of lower cost pieces they think are going to help on the line this offseason. Malik Neighbors, the most exciting player Daniel Jones has ever played with. And I say that with full respect to Saquon Barkley, because it just never really connected with Saquon and the Giants. This makes them a different looking team. If Daniel Jones can stay on the field and get that player the ball, it's exciting.
Yes, if you've been...
No, you're saying that disrespectingly of Saquon Barkley, not respectfully. Saquon Barkley was literally carrying that Giants team, so let's tap the brakes on that. But the question at hand is, can Malik, save Daniel Jones's career? Save it from what? Like who? Like kind of like Orlovsky said, like he has to become something that he never was in the first place. Daniel Jones is not a great quarterback. He is an average to good quarterback. He can do some things. I mean, he's worthy to be in the NFL. He's a bottom level quarterback. I mean, that's what he is. He can do some nice things. At moments, he can do some great things, but he's not some top level quarterback, right? Like I think to a degree we put quarterbacks in boxes, and we associated back in the olden days, we associated it with more like with race and stuff like that, like running quarterbacks, statue type pocket passing quarterbacks who are white, black. But I think we've evolved well beyond that, and now I feel like we put quarterbacks in boxes and just to like who we think they are and what they look like. And it's like, is it a pocket passer? Is it a running around? And don't get me wrong, Daniel Jones has some legs and can move around more than I think the average person may think, because they think of just like he's just like some statuesque, white quarterback. But I think it's easier for people to compare Daniel Jones to say like almost like a Kirk Cousins and be like, he's not flashy, he's not cool, he's not hip, he's not cool like a Dak Prescott, like a Patrick Mahomes, and he's not this physical freak like a Josh Allen, and he doesn't have the arm like a Joe Burrow, and he's not as quick, and he can run, but he's not as quick like a Lamar Jackson. And so like our mind tries to look for comparisons. We're like, okay, he's white, he's not fast, he's not this, Kirk Cousins, I guess. And the truth is that Kirk Cousins is a really, really good to great quarterback, and that's not Daniel Jones. And it's like people think like, he could be a Kirk Cousins level quarterback if only we had a little bit of this and a little bit of that and this, that. And it's just not the reality. It's just really, really not. And so it's like this idea that there's even necessarily like a career to save per se. Like maybe if the question is like, can they save him from like being benched? Or having the Giants move on from him, or start to draft quarterbacks or look elsewhere, like I suppose so. I guess if that's the way we're looking at it, but I don't know who's looking favorably at this point on Daniel Jones's career as a whole. I really don't. And I got nothing against him, but it just like I just don't know what he's done. And don't get me wrong, I totally give him the benefit of the doubt is that the Giants have just not also had good players around him. Like they haven't built a good team overall around him. So I do think that is worth saying. But I'm just, when you watch what Daniel Jones can do and the type of player that he's shown to be, my favorite thing to do really is to kind of just move a quarterback and move him to a different team. And I ask myself, if Daniel Jones, let's just go in division. If Daniel Jones was with the Cowboys, do the Cowboys get better? No. Is Daniel Jones is with the Eagles. Do the Eagles get better? No. If Daniel Jones is with the Kansas City Chiefs, are they even remotely as good? No. It's like the Bills. No. I mean, we can go around from team to team to team, and I'm not so sure what team he makes better. That's the answer. When we say like someone like a Kirk Cousins, does Kirk Cousins make the Atlanta Falcons better? Yes, undeniably. Right? We know it for a fact. Did he make the Minnesota Vikings better when he went to the Vikings? Yes, absolutely. So to me, it's like when you kind of do that thought experiment, that can kind of help you define like what quarterback is Daniel Jones. And that's why I kind of put Daniel Jones maybe in the category of like a Baker Mayfield. It's a little bit harder because Daniel Jones has struggled to stay healthy, and it would have been nice to see what he could have done in a healthy year this year, considering he had a pretty decent year coming off of, when they went to the playoffs the year before. But, Daniel Jones gets shook seemingly very easily. He just doesn't seem like he's consistent enough, and he just makes some really, really bad decisions. And I'm more forgiving of a quarterback who makes poor decisions when he doesn't have a good offensive mind in the room, whether it's a good OC or a good head coach. And we know Brian Daboll is a good offensive mind. If you want to argue, is he the best head coach? That's fine. But offensively, he is a great offensive mind. And so that should be setting Daniel Jones up for success, to be a better player than he is, to make better decisions more consistently. And since he doesn't, it's harder for me to give. If he didn't have Brian Daboll as the head coach, if he didn't have a good, offensive mind in the room, I would be more willing to give him the benefit of the doubt in that regard. I would say, well, listen, he doesn't have a good team, and he doesn't make, like, what do you want him to do? He's trying his best, blah, 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 blah. But I think when you have Daboll in the room, that takes away from it. You can't really necessarily extend that card to him, because even if you want to say that he doesn't have good weapons or consistent enough weapons, his decision making doesn't have to be so poor. His pre-snap reads don't have to be so poor, right? Forcing the ball down the field doesn't have to be the thing that he does. I mean, that's what all those highlights that they were kind of showing, those interceptions, like they were just blatantly poor decisions and trying to force a ball where it need not go. And again, if you don't have a good OC, then you can justify it a little bit more. I can't justify it when Daboll is the guy in your ears. I just can't. It just doesn't add up to me. So that's where I really kind of fall low on Daniel Jones. And so again, it's like, can he save his career? Can he extend it? Sure. Can Malik maybe hide some of the issues that Daniel Jones has in his own game? Sure. But I just don't know. Like, even if he plays well at this point, like, even if the Giants play better as a whole, I just don't know who's going to be able to say, well, that's, Daniel Jones is the engine of that. He helps that offense go. Like, I don't understand how people could say Brock Purdy has nothing to do with the 49ers offense and that he's just a system quarterback and, they can plug and play anyone in there. But then say, like, if Malik and Jones kind of play a little bit better, that they're not going to say, well, listen, it's nothing to do with Daniel Jones. Like, it just doesn't always make sense to me. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Do you think Malik can save Daniel Jones's career? And what does that even look like if the answer is yes or no? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.